An exclusive with former CNN headline news anchor Lynne Russell and her husband, Chuck Caro. They are speaking out this morning for the very first time since getting caught in a deadly shootout in their motel room. Here is a look back at that terrifying incident. June 30th, 2015. The day former CNN headline news anchor Lynne Russell.
Thank you for sharing your evenings.
And former CNN investigative reporter Chuck Caro.
Supplies had to reach northernmost positions.
Went from reporting the news to becoming it.
Breaking news.
Former CNN anchor.
A deadly shootout. Caught in a real-life gunfight with an armed robber who, the couple says, forced himself into their room at this Albuquerque motel. Surveillance video capturing the horrifying ordeal on camera.
He gave me a good shove, and I was airborne and into the room. About that time, my husband came out of the shower and found his wife being held at gunpoint.
Both Russell and Caro hold a concealed carry license. And Russell, thinking quickly, managed to slip her personal handgun to her husband in the scuffle. And when the suspect started shooting, Caro fired back, saving his wife's life. The alleged robber, 27-year-old Tamaria Walton, was killed in the gunfight. The alleged accomplice, Sky Bars, was arrested. He pled not guilty to several felonies, including kidnapping, aggravated burglary, and attempted first-degree murder. Caro was shot 3 times. His wife by his side during months of recovery and rehab. And before leaving the hospital, Caro thanked the first responders who helped save his life.
The response from this city to help me in every way was just seamless and perfect.
And right now we want to welcome Lynne Russell and Chuck Caro to Good Morning America. Thank you both for being here.
Wow.
And Lynne, I know you had a real reaction when you saw that picture.
Yes, I did, of course. Of course. This has been a very emotional thing. We just can't, even if you have to defend yourself, and you do, you don't just walk away from it. The whole rest of your life has changed. It just always is.
And you were saying Chuck is your hero.
Oh, he is my hero. He absolutely is. Couldn't have been in better hands.
It didn't have anything to do with being a hero. It had to do with a promise I made when I married her after chasing her for 30 years. Mm-hmm. I take that part about having to hold very seriously, better or worse, very seriously. I don't think it could get any worse than it did that evening.
You said you believed wholeheartedly that Lynne was about to be raped.
I came out of the shower, naked, soaking wet, shaking from the air conditioning, looking for a towel, and here's my wife flying backwards through the air, lands face up on the bed with this desperado pointing a gun at her. And then I came out and said, "What the hell is going on here?" And he pointed the gun at me, and it went from there. Unfortunately, our weapons that we're legally entitled to carry were on the bed table. So I got between his line of sight and that. Lynne was smart enough and brave enough to understand what I was doing and slid those weapons into her purse and said, "Maybe there's something in here he would like."
And you're both very tough. Lynne, you're a black belt twice, 2-time black belt, and I know you also, I believe, trained Special Forces.
No, I was just a simple soldier in 20th Special Forces Group. Nothing magic.
I see, Lynne, that you are getting very emotional here.
You know, I've never cried on the air before, but it doesn't go away. And when we talk about that night, I think about watching him, and he was just out of the shower, you know, watching him be shot. Thanks so much. Watching him be shot. Your husband shot. He turns to you and he says, "He hit me. I'm shot."
Shot 3 times.
3 times, and this is after both of them emptied their guns, and you know, sometimes the muzzles were only this far apart. Sure. And I could see the fire coming out of them, and when he said that to me, I thought it's impossible, because to me nothing like that could ever happen to him, you know. And I think about it, and it doesn't go away, and I think to myself, I don't want another woman to have to go through watching her husband be shot. I don't want another woman to have to, you know, lie on a cot in a really cold, I'm sorry, this is what happens, a room in an ICU,
Well, while he is and then tomorrow another operation for you, Chuck.
Operation
Yet another
4.
one.
I don't want that again. You know, I don't want just to think of anybody else having to be stuck in an ICU room and listen to the sound of 10 people working on a loved one. And
Well, it's important for us
I don't want that.
Of course you don't, and I know that you guys are suing Motel 6. We did reach out to them about this. We did not hear back from them. What can you tell us about this lawsuit, and what do you hope to get out of it?
Well, first thing is, why were we there? That's why we were there.
That's our family.
It was our family. We had
The dog.
The dog.
Motel is the Motel 6 is dog friendly.
Very
We
dog
were traveling
friendly.
across country.
Oliver was very old.
on our way to a war game in California that I was leading. And then I ended up leading from my hospital bed. But it was the dog. That was the only reason why we were
We
there.
needed a couple hours sleep. The dog needed some care.
But see, here's the point. I don't think, for whatever reason, the people are there. People go to Motel 6s and other hotels and motels. Their choices for all kinds of reasons. And I just don't think, and this is why the suit, because as I was sitting in his room watching all of this, and I began to do my own research, I discovered that this was not an isolated kind of incident. And I don't think that a family should have to sacrifice security for a room that's safe, a place to stay, a place to spend the night in a name brand hotel, anywhere, for any reason.
And when we do have to wrap it, I know you want people to know a couple of things that they can learn from your experience.
Very quickly, ask 3 questions. If we had asked these questions, we wouldn't have been there. First of all, what is the crime rate at this hotel? How many times have the cops been called in the past year, 5 years? You pick it, right? 1,000 times. For us, it was over 1,000 times. That was the answer. Are there security cameras at this place? And are they monitored in real time right here? Because if somebody had monitored those cameras, all the video that you guys see of us being assaulted, that would have stopped it right away. And the third thing is, are there guards? And are the guards actual? How many of them do you have? Because one for 2 hours on a Saturday morning doesn't help you if you're there for a Wednesday night. So the traveling public, don't be afraid to ask these questions. And if enough of us do and we don't stop, then somebody's going to have to address it.
Thank you. Thank you. I think those are important questions to ask. I appreciate that. And Chuck, we're thinking about you, and good luck in your operation tomorrow. Thank you both for being with us.